have always had a fondness of the sea and swimming. I didn't live right on the coast. I lived in Brisbane, in the city, but we always went to holidays in northern New South Wales to the beach, and we went fishing, and I got an interest in the sea life from my younger days on those holidays with my brothers. I think over the years that interest just grew, and I ended up working marine biology. Hi, I'm Greg Coman. I'm a senior research scientist at CSIRO, and I work with prawns. For genetic selection in prawns, what we're really interested in is to identify prawns that grow fast and survive very well in the commercial environment, which is typically a pond. We choose those animals and then we breed from them to produce the next generation, and generally that's the essence of genetic selection. We're really after prawns that grow fast, survive well, and also have other aspects, such as they taste nice and they breed well, they have lots of babies, and these are the sorts of attributes we're trying to identify and improve on progressively from one generation to the next.
G'day, I'm Nick Moore. I'm the General Manager of Gold Coast Marine Aquaculture, the producers of Gold Coast tiger prawns. To get the babies to go in here, we need the mothers and the fathers. We basically call them broodstock, the males and the females. In here they are microscopic, they are tiny, tiny animals. But the broodstock are over 35 centimetres long. That is this long, and they weigh in excess of 150 grams. The prawns you would buy in the shop would probably be somewhere around about 25 to 30 grams. So you're looking at an animal 5 times that size. In this hatchery you're standing in right now, you can see these blue tanks. Inside every of these tanks, when we stock them, we put 1 million juveniles, 1 million animals that have just hatched out of the egg. We hold the juveniles in these tanks for around about 28 to 30 days. In that time, they'll grow to what we call PL. It stands simply for post-larva, and they're ready to stock into the pond. But they need to be counted. It's very simple. You know how many litres of water are in that tank. You can then reduce that litres of water to a very measured amount. If you mix the animals evenly within that measured amount of water and take a small sample from that and count it, then you do 10 replicates of that sample. So in other words, you've sampled a small amount of that tank, you've counted, you've done it 10 times, you've counted it, and you've averaged it. And you know just how many times that small sample volume will fit into the volume which you've taken out in the first place. It's a simple mathematical multiplication, and you have the total number in your tank, and it's very, very accurate.
Domesticated prawns typically have higher survival than prawns which are produced from wild broodstock. In commercial ponds, survivals are typically very high, 80 or 90% for domesticated prawns. This is often double what you get from wild progeny prawns. When it comes to stocking animals into the ponds, we typically think of stocking rates in terms of stocking densities. This is how many animals we get per metre squared in the ponds.
In a hectare of water, and a hectare is 10,000 square metres, we might put in 40 prawns per square metre, which gives you a total of 400,000 prawns. It sounds a lot, but it's not really. 40 prawns a square metre is actually quite low in global terms. If those 40 prawns a square metre grow to 35 grams, then you can see that's well over 12 tonnes per hectare. Different farms will have a different optimum prawn size. Some farms will farm twice a year, they'll harvest more than one crop. But farms like ourselves in southern Queensland only farm one crop a year, hence we'll grow a larger prawn. So it's important to maximise the yield per year you're going to get. In our situation, that's around a prawn of 35 grams.
The perfect prawn is a prawn that is very high on the normal distribution for all the traits we're interested in. So it has fast growth, high survival, and good other characteristics. So animals in the top percentiles, the 80th percentile, within their family. We're also looking for the families which are the largest or best families compared to other families. And the way we typically do that is to look at the family means. So the mean performance for each family for those traits that we're interested in, and we select those families that have the highest means.
One of the major benefits of our domestication program is the fact that our prawns now are tame. Accordingly, our ponds come out with a higher survival, therefore our yields are up, they eat less, so our FCRs are down, and that's profitability 101. Being a business, profitability, in other words making money, is exceedingly important for your own sustainability. And our feed cost is so important because most farms you'll find that the feed cost is around 43% of all the money that you'll spend. And because it's so expensive, what we call feed conversion rate, or FCR, becomes so important. What that means is how many kilos of feed you put in to produce a number of kilos of prawns. It's quite simple. Most farms produce prawns at around about 1.6 to 1.7 kilos of feed per kilo of prawns, depending on how big their prawns are growing. If we can get feeds down to 1.1, 1.2 kilos of feed, we obviously save a lot of that feed cost, we reduce our FCRs, we reduce our impact on the environment, and we make a lot more money.
So I've found maths useful in a whole range of ways I didn't expect. I have to work out how many animals can go into a tank, so we have to look at stocking densities and stocking rates. We use statistics to analyse the results of experiments. We use probability in our breeding programs, and we have to do things like look at the average size of families and how far the individuals vary from the family means when we make breeding decisions. So we use maths all the time. It's fundamental to what we do at work every day.